Happy Arrival Day. WHO declares pandemic over. And VP lashes out over High Court ruling. I'm Rico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. News and news happening. Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Today, the president emphasized the importance of multiculturalism in his message for Arrival Day 2023, calling for people of diverse heritage to work together to create better conditions for each other. He also highlighted his government's One Guyana agenda. And the message also recognized the contributions of different ethnic groups to Guyana's development and called for unity and the rejection of division. This day, May the 5th, celebrates the 185th anniversary of the arrival of East Indians, mostly indentured servants, from Uttar Pradesh to our nation's wonderful shores. The causes for their arrival may have been dark, but best believe through unity, we will all have a bright future. The World Health Organization has declared that the Rona is no longer a global health emergency, although it does remain a global health threat. The WHO Emergency Committee recommended the end of the public health emergency of international concern, which has been in place for over 3 years. The end of the emergency is a sign of progress made in vaccines and treatments, but the Rona is here to stay. The death rate has slowed significantly, and many nations have begun dismantling their domestic state of emergency for the Rona, including ours. Now for elections-related news. The Guyana Elections Commission has announced that there will be no voting in 13 local authority areas during this year's local government elections on June 12th, since there is only one approved list of candidates in each of the named areas. The areas include, stay with me because there's a lot of commas here, but Le Guan, Canals Polder, La Jealousy, Nouvelle Flanders, Herselling Little Diamond, Bath, Woodley Park, Bloomfield, Wim, number 64, number 74, Kintyre, number 37, Borla, Ordnance, Fort Lands, number 38, Kilcoy, Hampshire, Port Morant, Johns, the municipality of Letham, and Aranaputa, Upper Borough. The party or independent candidate running in each of these LAAs was not disclosed, but the PPP claims to be contesting in all local authority areas across the nation. In other elections-related news, the main opposition, APNU, has filed an application to halt the local government elections, citing concerns over new boundaries. The changes were made by GCOM in January of this year, but APNU claims they were made in violation of the Constitution and Local Authorities Act. Commissioner Vincent Alexander argues that the changes disadvantage the PNC, a major component of APNU, and that the CEO of GCOM did not follow precedent in conducting the field exercise, claiming that many of the new local authority areas actually skew towards the PPP. The case will be heard on May the 30th. And in energy-related news, Guyana is projected to increase its installed capacity for solar energy to 17.2 megawatts this year, with multiple solar projects slated for completion this year. The government is seeking to ensure equal access to clean and affordable energy, with plans for additional solar and hydropower plants and a wind farm being considered. These initiatives align with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal of ensuring access to clean and affordable energy for all. Keep your truck running smoothly this rainy season with high-quality parts from Powered Automotive. They stock parts from all the top brands, including Freightliner, DAF, International, and all models of Cummins engines. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GT Eat is here to make your life easier. Guyana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GT Eats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today. And in other news, Court Kip was recognized by the Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vinya Prasad, for his bravery in saving a young woman who jumped from the Demerara Harbor Bridge, supposedly in an attempt to claim her own life. Kip's phone, which was damaged during the rescue, was replaced by GTT. Kip shared that he had not been in contact with the woman since the incident, but wished her well. Nevertheless, the ministry ensured that the woman received the necessary care for her recovery. Now for crime. Amanda Smith, a 12-year-old girl from Aishalton Region 9, was found dead in her yard on April 22nd. However, we are just now getting reports of this incident. An autopsy revealed that she had several broken bones in her chest, neck, jaw, face, and skull. Her uncle, a 17-year-old boy, was at the house at that night and admitted to taking her body outside of the yard and fleeing the scene. He has been apprehended and remains in police custody. Dead is 46-year-old Kim Haley. Her husband, 50-year-old businessman Junior Haley of Nowineva Village in Maikoni, has since surrendered to law enforcement officials to whom he confessed to the crime. The woman's bloodied body was discovered by a staff member of the Alpha Hotel in Ogle, East Coast Demerara. The suspect remains in custody as the investigation continues. Yesterday, a fire in Beehive North Public Road, East Coast Demerara, destroyed a 2-story wooden and concrete building, leaving 4 persons homeless. The fire was caused by naked flames from an unknown source rupturing an LPG gas line, which caused a gas cylinder to explode and spread to nearby combustible materials. 2 neighboring homes were also slightly damaged by the fire. Now for today's oil update. Following a recent court ruling that the Environmental Protection Agency must enforce the liability clause in ExxonMobil's environmental permit for its offshore oil operations in Guyana, the Vice President has emphasized the importance of local institutions acting in a professional manner and not being influenced by economic nationalism, as he calls it. The ruling requires ExxonMobil's local affiliates to provide unlimited liability insurance, and the government intends to appeal that decision. Jagdeo also highlighted the need for predictable court decisions and the importance of attracting capital investment to transform the nation. You know, Jagan would be spinning around in his grave if he heard this. In other oil-related news, Noble Corporation has been awarded a significant additional backlog commitment from ExxonMobil Guyana, extending the contract duration for 4 drillships from the 4th quarter of 2025 to the 2nd quarter of 2027. The bulk of Noble's revenues from Guyana come from ExxonMobil's Starbuck block operations and sporadic exploration elsewhere in the basin. In 2022, Noble Guyana's operations generated US $469 million, accounting for 1/3 of its overall total revenues for the year. There's no better way to show your appreciation than with flowers from Shanice's Flowerland. We have a wide selection of beautiful flowers to choose from, including roses, sunflowers, and stunning desk arrangements, starting as low as $6,000. Our gifts are sure to brighten up any workplace and put a smile on anyone's face. With convenient payment options like PayPal, MMG, and Cash App, ordering from us is quick and easy. It's as simple as contacting us on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp at 645-1189. Come visit us at Shanice's Flowerland at the Movietown Mall and let us help you say thank you in the most beautiful way. Robbery season might be over, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home or business with Sheriff Security. Sheriff Security has well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. They speed leaving our drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Now for our uncut news, here's poll question of the day. Every day we post a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it's twice. Last night I asked, what can we do to actually clean up the nation? But before we get to that, I'm proud to announce our latest addition to the Noble Army, Richard Singh, who is supporting us at the reporter level, the highest level of monthly support we've received so far. So thank you, Richard Singh. And also, a special thank you to David Griffith, Dion Nascimento, Project Zero, and Dimitri V. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching at home and you'd like to support our movement, just hit the link in the video description. Davi Samaru says charity begins at home. The only way to see real improvement is by motivating every citizen to take the initiative to care for the looks of the city and the rest of the nation, and not in a mediocre way. Because littering is a common practice in Ghana, sometimes for lack of proper facilities, but other times it's just a don't care attitude. The garbage problem is bigger than just individuals littering, but it is nevertheless a good place to start. Barefoot Wanderer says the number of abandoned buildings and vacant lots in Georgetown is an absolute eyesore. Business buildings should be required to maintain their signage and property itself, but a vast amount of commercial buildings look dilapidated. Take Fogarty Store as an example. Find a way to take vendors off the streets. Maybe pave the abandoned lots and relocate vendors there. More public parking lots should be available, and the city needs to hire more sanitation workers to put proper garbage cans around the city and ensure they are cleaned weekly. Lastly, the Burnham Corner lot by the roundabout at the seawall, with its overgrown patchy grass and rundown-looking shed, needs proper lights and a fresh coat of paint. It looks dreadful. Indeed, but since it's named after Burnham, I don't expect you'll get any improvement soon. Ha! But seriously, it does look dreadful. And finally, Rondell Kelman says they need to enforce already existing laws about littering, punishable by fines or cleaning the city as community service. I think it's about having a system and maintaining that system to deal with certain things. We have a tendency of being all for something, provided that it benefits us, for the first, then totally forget about it after a while, and then it becomes the norm. Indeed, I agree completely. Now for tonight's question. How do you feel about the WHO's announcement of the end of the pandemic? Do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing, or, well, was this whole thing overblown? I really want to hear from you. So, think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out on Monday for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying, have a great weekend. And as always, don't drink and drive, or you'll end up on Monday's episode the hard way. Ha-ha! Good night, folks.